Hello Sagittarius, I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and these are your cards for June of 2023. I highly recommend that you check out the video for your sun, moon, and rising sign if you happen to know all three. And if you're interested in booking a one-on-one tarot reading with myself, go ahead and visit learnreikiphiladelphia.com, which is also linked in the description below. So let's go ahead and dive right in and see what the month has in store for you. Okay, so this is a pretty pivotal month for you, and there's a lot going on, coming in, going through, and towards the end. A lot of decisions to be made as far as how you're moving forward. The focus of the month is the moon, and this is the major arcana card that came up for you this month. The moon often gets a really bad rap. Sometimes this is a card that can mean or is translated more as the dark night of the soul. This is all about deeper healing, deeper truths, going through some difficult things in order to come out better on the other side. It's not a card of horribleness or badness by any means, but it is a card that shows you that the exact path forward isn't going to be well lit and clearly paved in front of you. There's going to be a lot of decisions that need to be made, a lot of inner reflection that's going to need to take place, and being truthful and honest with yourself will be key. So that's a lot of what this means. So how is that actually going to show up and play out? Well, this is how we're entering June, coming out of May. It's represented by the Ace of Swords. You have two aces this month. Ace of Swords. Swords are all about mental clarity. So as you leave May and enter June, there's some truths that have started to become clear to you. Some things that you've started to realize, okay, I've had this moment of clarity, and I realize I can't do this way, or this is as far as I've come. Some kind of deep realization where it's almost like somebody flips a light switch for you. I feel like there may have been a couple of those in the months leading up to this, but now it's kind of all culminating with, this is something I need to pay attention to. And I feel like you probably already know what part of your life that is about. Now, what is the sort of challenge and or caution, but I would say the challenge of the month. The challenge of the month is a whole different ace. It's an Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is usually about the energy to burst forth and do things. Being that this is in the challenge position, I feel like you've got this, what feels like a very limited window to act, and there's a propensity to sort of put the action before the thinking, which is not what the moon would suggest that you do. Also, something that can be in the challenge when an Ace of Wands shows up in a challenge position is that you're struggling with momentum. You're struggling with motivation, that you're sort of reticent. You're a little bit holding back. It's I feel like I need to jump in and do something quickly, but I don't know what. I feel stuck, and I'd rather just sort of sit still. So that's the challenge, is your physical energy and how you engage this now clear moment or decision you might have made, how to move forward with it. So what comes next? The next is the best way forward, sort of the suggested course of action. And here we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is often seen as the wish card. It's seen as a blessing card. You can absolutely make a wish on it if you'd like. But really what this boils down to in terms of your reading is solutions that implicate everyone. It's a shared success. It actually brings to mind an African proverb that came up when I was taking some business classes. And that is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. If you're struggling with how exactly do I take this realization and act on it in the best way, what's really coming up with this would be take a look at how it impacts everyone. How do you share this success with others that matter? Not so much going just for the immediate thing for you, but how does this touch your family? How does this touch maybe even your colleagues? How does this success that you have an opportunity to make, how can that possibly impact more people in a really positive way? So that's the best way forward. So what is the next category? The last category for your month is the whispers from your guides. It's exactly what it sounds like. Your guides slipping you kind of like a note or some guidance for the month. And what we get is actually the actual opposite of what this card means. It's the Five of Swords. Swords, again, is mental energy. The Five of Swords, as you see, you've got sort of someone here sneering and sort of, he's self-satisfied. He's got these swords. He's picking up another, but he's also, leaving these two people here. He's leaving some things on the beach. This is often a sword of a tainted victory. This is to do what's best for yourself at the expense of others, but really being your own downfall. It's winning at all costs is going to cost you, is another way that this card is summarized. So if you look at these two cards in juxtaposition, what's the challenge? The challenge is being motivated. It's like, okay, I've got this clarity. I know what I need to do, or I know what I don't need to do. How do I make it the best way? Like, how do I actually show up and do the thing? How do I put my physical energy out there to manifest it and make the most of it? And what they're being very clear about is, think about how this is going to impact other people. Cups are emotions. This is all the things in life that are important that aren't about money or basic needs or resources. This is about how we feel inside. This is the people we love and care about. This is our emotional well-being. So think about the collective with how you show up and use your energy. And definitely look out for the inkling to be self-serving, to quickly jump and do the thing that would immediately be best for you without concern for how it would impact others, because ultimately it will end up not working out well for you. It's a short-term win that ultimately isn't in alignment with who you are and where you want to go, and ultimately isn't going to help you get to where you need to go. This is going to set you up in a path for not having some great dealings. For example, it's usually seen like these guys are going to be like, hey, why did you take all of those? Don't just think of yourself. Think of the others that you care about. Think about the community and the other individuals and even your industry potentially implicated in your actions. So Sagittarius, that's a lot to take in. It's definitely a big month. The moon always favors reflecting inward honesty. Be honest with yourself about what your motivations are, why you might want to do one thing versus another. And the more honest you are with yourself, the easier it will be to decide how to move forward in terms of community and more self-serving actions. So all the best to you, Sagittarius. Again, I definitely recommend that you check out the video for your sun, moon, and rising, because that'll give you a more complete view of the month ahead. It'll probably flesh out exactly some more details that might be helpful to you. Definitely go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss an opportunity to see your July cards as soon as they're available. And if you found this video helpful at all, go ahead, give it a like. I appreciate you watching through this far. Have a beautiful June, and I will see you in July.